In a small village called Sunnyvale, there lived a man named Ben. Ben was known throughout the village not for his hard work or his kindness, but for his laziness. He loved to sleep late, lie around all day, and do as little as possible. His favorite spot was a hammock in his garden, where he would lie for hours, staring at the clouds and daydreaming. Ben's house was always a mess. His garden was overgrown with weeds, and the fence was falling apart. Neighbors often offered to help him clean up or fix things, but Ben would just smile lazily and say, "Why bother? I'm perfectly happy as I am." Every day, Ben would watch as his neighbors went to work, tending their gardens, fixing their houses, or going to the market to sell their goods. He wondered why they all worked so hard when they could just relax like he did. One afternoon, as Ben was lying in his hammock, he fell into a deep sleep. In his dream, he was lying on a golden beach, the sun shining brightly. There were no worries, no work, just the sound of the waves gently lapping at the shore. Ben thought he was in paradise. Suddenly, a voice called out to him, "Ben."
Ben.
He looked around but saw no one. The voice continued, "Ben, why are you wasting your life in laziness?"
Startled, Ben replied, "Who are you?"
"I'm happy here. I don't need to do anything else." The voice responded, "I am your future. If you continue to be lazy, you will find yourself alone, with nothing to show for your life. You must learn the value of hard work." Before Ben could reply, the beach faded away, and he woke up in his hammock, sweating and anxious. The sun was setting, and the sky was painted with hues of orange and pink. Ben sat up, still hearing the echo of the voice in his mind. The dream had shaken Ben. He had never thought about the future before. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about what the voice had said. What if it's true, he wondered. What if I end up alone and with nothing? The next morning, for the first time in years, Ben got up early. He looked around his house and realized how messy and neglected it was. He decided to start by cleaning his house. He picked up a broom and began sweeping. It took him hours, but by midday, his house was spotless. Feeling a sense of satisfaction he had never felt before, Ben moved to his garden. He pulled out the weeds, trimmed the overgrown bushes, and fixed the fence. His neighbors were surprised to see him working. They watched as Ben, sweating and tired, worked all day. By the end of the day, his garden looked beautiful, and Ben felt proud of himself. For the first time, he realized that hard work wasn't so bad after all. It gave him a sense of purpose and accomplishment. As days went by, Ben started to enjoy working. He found joy in taking care of his house and garden. He even started helping his neighbors with their chores. The villagers noticed the change in Ben. They began to invite him to their gatherings, and soon Ben had more friends than he ever thought possible. One day, the village was preparing for the annual fair. Each year, the villagers would display their crafts, food, and talents. This time, Ben decided to participate. He used his skills to make beautiful wooden carvings and displayed them at the fair. His carvings were admired by everyone, and he sold every piece. Ben couldn't believe it. He had earned money through his own hard work. He felt proud and happy. He realized that the voice in his dream was right. Laziness had given him nothing but isolation, while hard work had given him a new life. Ben's life changed completely. He was no longer the lazy man of Sunnyvale. He became known as the hardworking, kind-hearted Ben.